Hi everyone, this is Paul with Burly Pearly Knits. Welcome back to the Seaside Cowboy knit along for my lace shawls. So here we go, getting ready for part 4. I have gotten pretty carried away and I went ahead and knit it. I've completed it. We're ready to go for part 5 as well. So that will also be in this section. Now, here's the thing. I recorded it. I know I recorded it, but somehow, for some reason, parts of the videos or, one or two videos are missing or did not record properly, or I don't know, user error probably. So I have chosen an alternate yarn, little leftover from this one. So this is the Hedgehog Fibers, and I am going to be knitting the chevron pattern for you in this. So same as the fishtail lace, when you get close to the edge, you want to make sure that if you have the space, if you have, 2 stitches and you have the room to do a yarn over and a slip one, knit one, pass slip stitch over, and then make your stitch right and then do your selvage edge, go ahead and do it. If you don't, don't. But you want to carry the lace as close to the edge as possible. Now, I've also started my color change in here. You may have noticed it. It's a little bit subtle, and obviously that's on purpose because I'm going from this color to this color, and they complement each other really nicely. They've got all the same kind of colorway with the speckles and everything happening in both of them. There's about 50% left on this one, so it's about 50 grams. I'm going to knit down to maybe about 20 grams left, and then I'll transition to do fewer, I guess like a 3-to-1 ratio. Right now I'm doing I started off with a 3-to-1 ratio, so 3 rows of this, 1 row of that. Now I'm just about ready to start with a 2-to-2, and I'll do that for a while, and then I will go to a 3-to-1. Does that make sense? Sorry about the noise outside. There's a whole bunch of construction. They're building a brand new building outside of my apartment, and there's lots of banging and stuff going on. Anyway, if you're new and you haven't watched this any of the parts yet, this is a great introduction to lace. It is all purled on the wrong side with the exception of the selvage edge, and all your lace work is on the right side. So really easy introductory to lace. At the end of this video I will also post I will also post myself doing some steam blocking, because somebody asked about that. How do I steam block? There's a couple different ways that it can be done. So I will demonstrate both of those. One on this and one on my new shawl, which I'm absolutely in love with. And I guess I have to do a pattern for it. But here it is. It's like this zigzag, but it is curling on itself. So a nice steam block is going to fix that up. But this is beautiful. This is done in Nolan, N-O-L-A, or Olan, O-L-A-N-N, I think, Olan. Yarns, let me check that. I always say it wrong. Anyway, Olan, yeah. Ooh, that's really bright. I just got a new light, so. Olan, it is hand dyed in Ireland. It's got some beautiful speckles. It's lovely tonal gray. So Yeah, another great yarn. This would have been a fantastic yarn to do the Seaside Cowboy shawl in, but I'm happy I'm using it for this as well. Anyway, let's get started. Part 4, then part 5, then a steam. Sounds like a great Sunday afternoon. I'm sitting here in my PJs, in my blues. I'm all blue. All blue. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, so here we go. We're all set up. Before we start, though, I am enjoying some lovely kombucha of my own brewing. That is a, oops, can I get it in? December 23rd vintage. Yum, yum, yum. So a nice old one. Okay. Put that there. Let's get going. So I've done my selvage edge. I have already done row 1 and 2. Row 1 is a knit row. Row 2 on the wrong side is a purl row. And row 3 is about to start. So we're going to start that with knit 4, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over. We're now at the beginning of the pattern repeat. So this is our asterisk. We're going to knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over, slip 1. Make sure you're slipping these knit-wise. Slip 1, not purl-wise. Purl-wise is that way. Knit-wise is that way. Slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, knit 5. And just continue in this pattern repeat all the way to the end. And remember to try and carry that chevron if you can get a yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over before you make one right, and then do your selvage edge. Do it if you can. Okay, I will see you on the other side after you have purled your row 4, and I'll see you for row 5. Bye. Okay, so being really careful to make sure I follow the pattern, I now have a series of little eyelets all set up, evenly spaced along, and we're going to start that chevron design now. These needles are not the best. This cord is ridiculously long. Anyway, okay, here we go. Selvage edge. Keep it nice and loose on the edge there. Just don't split your stitches. There we go. Okay, now knit 2. Go to the asterisk. We're going to start our pattern repeat. This is an easy one. Knit 2 together. So you can see that gives us a nice direction of our stitch slanting to the right. So a knit 2 together does stitches slanting to the right. You're going to yarn over, knit 1, yarn over again, slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, knit 2, knit 2 together, knit 2 together, Yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, pass, slip stitch over, knit 2, yarn over. Oh, wait, no, don't yarn over, because I'm in the middle of a chevron. So that's a yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, pass, slip stitch over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, pass, slip stitch over. Continue this all the way to the end. Okay, here we go, row number 7. Get our selvage edge done. This is going to start with a knit 1, knit 2 together. This is the beginning of our pattern repeat. So knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, 2, 3, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, pass, slip stitch over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, pass, slip stitch over, and start our pattern repeat again with the knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3, yarn over, slip 1, knit 1, pass, slip stitch over, knit 2 together, and just continue that all the way to the end. Again, if you can fit your lace in, make it happen. If you can't, don't worry about it. Maybe on the next row. So our next row, which is going to be a purl row on the wrong side, is our last row. So you're going to repeat these all the way through, and you can see it taking shape there. We've got some gorgeous stitches going off to the right with our knit 2 together, stitches going off to the left with our slip 1, knit 1, pass, slip stitch over, and this gorgeous eyelet lace forming a chevron and a solid block there. So after you do your purl row, you're going to go back to the beginning. Row 1 is a knit row, row 2 is a purl row, and then row 3 you start working your eyelets again. And when you're done, through the magic of television, it'll look something like that. So here we go. Oh, that's better. Yeah. So we're going to get ready for part number 5. And yeah, let's get going. But before you do part number 5, of course, you want to do 7 pattern repeats. So that's what I've done here. 7 pattern repeats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Finish that up. Do a little break if you want. I've got my seat stitch, and I've already done 2 rows of stockinette stitch, and we're ready to go for part 5. Okay, so here we go, ready for section 5, layer 5. I'm gonna work my selvage edge. I'm just doing a color change. Okay, so this stitch is called the arches stitch, and basically we're going to start this one right off. It's a multiple of 13 rows. 14 rows for a pattern repeat. And as with all of them, every wrong side row is a purl row. So row 1, 3, and 5 are all the same as follows. So here we go. Starting off right at the beginning of our pattern repeat at the asterisk. Knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 together. See? Knit 2 together, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we need to slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over. Again, remember to slip that, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, slip that first one knitwise. We then yarn over, knit 1, and that takes us back to the beginning. So that knit 1 was the beginning. Yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip 1, knitwise, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, yarn over, go back to the beginning, knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, okay, there we go, knit 2 together, oops, don't split the stitch, there we go, knit 2 together, knit 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, yarn over, go back to the beginning, and do that all the way to the end. If you can fit in any of those eyelet stitches, do it and purl back, and I will see you for row 3. Now, row 3 is going to be the exact same as row 1, but I'll start you off anyway. Okay, see you there. Okay, so I have finished my second row. I've purled it. Because I'm in the middle of my color fade and my transition, I wanted to show you kind of how I do that when I'm changing rows to keep a nice tidy edge along there. So you can see here the last color I used is on the bottom, is on the top here from this last worked stitch, and that's the slipped edge stitch. And then the next one I want to use is this one. So what I do, turn your work, and keeping the one that we just worked on that edge onto the left, we're now going to bring up our new yarn that we're going to work from the right. Okay, let's get going for row 3, and oopsie, it is going to be exactly the same as row 1. So we do our selvage edge. I'm just going to tighten that up a little bit. See, it's a little bit loose there after my color change. That's just because that needs to be tightened up a little bit. There we go. Much better. We are going to start with a knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, there you go, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, and so on and so forth. Knit 5, and then you're going to purl back along the wrong side, and we'll see you for row 5, which will be exactly the same as this row. So I'm not going to demonstrate it, just do it again, and we will be back for row 7. Okay, see you there. Okay, here we go, row number 7. Before we start that though, you can see we have these nice little eyelets here, 3 rows from row 1, 3, and 5. So row number 7, make sure I do my color change here. So I'm going to take the color I just worked, keep it off to the left, and bring my new color up behind. Here we go. Work your selvage edge. 2, 3. And now row number 7 is we're going to start right off. Knit 1, yarn over, knit 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to slip 1, knit 2 together, slip 1. Oh, I need more room here. Slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over, and then we're going to knit 3 and yarn over, and that we're at the beginning of our repeat. So knit 1, yarn over, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, slip 1, knit 2 together. Don't mind the leaf blower outside. Pass slip stitch over, and I need to tighten this up. Where's my pass slip stitch over, and then knit 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 3, and continue this all the way to the end. Slip 1, 2 together, pass slip stitch over, knit 3, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 3. Okay, so here we go, row 9. We're going to start off, again, this is the beginning of our pattern repeat, with a knit 2, a yarn over, a knit 2, slip 1, knit 2 together, you guessed it, pass that slip stitch over. We've now got a nice little pattern beginning there in the middle of our arch. We're going to knit 2, oopsie, yarn over, and knit 1. And then that's the beginning of our pattern repeat. So we're going to finish that, with a knit 2. So beginning of the pattern repeat, knit 2, yarn over, knit 2, slip 1 knitwise, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over, knit 2, get to our eyelet section, yarn over, knit 1. That takes us back to the beginning, so I'm just going to knit 3. Boop, boop, boop. Because we're in that eyelet section. Yarn over, knit 2, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over, knit 2, and then yarn over, knit 3. Okay, so continue that all the way to the end. Yarn over, knit 2, slip 1, oops, knit 2 together. Okay, here we go, row 11. So I've already got my selvage edge set up, so we're just going to start right at the beginning with a knit 3, then a yarn over, knit 1, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over, knit 1, and then yarn over, and then we're going to just knit across this. So, our pattern repeat would be a knit 2, and then go back to the beginning and knit 3. I just like to think of it as once I get past that first part, it's a knit 5. Yarn over, knit 1, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 2, go back to the beginning, knit 3, yarn over, knit 1, slip 1, knit 2, pass slip stitch over, knit 1. You can see we have that nice elegant pattern taking shape there, and our arches are taking shape. So there will be another arch over top of this one, and it will continue the whole way up. This is row 11, continue that all the way to the end, and we will finish with row 13 and 14, and then start all over again. So where I left off, yarn over, 1, 3, 4, 5, yarn over, knit 1, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over, knit 1, and 2. Continue all the way to the end, purl back, and I'll see you for row 13. Okay, so here we go for row 13. I'm gonna work this edge. And this is gonna start with again, we're starting at the beginning of our pattern repeat, knit 4, knit 4, yarn over, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over, yarn over, and then knit 1, 2, 3. We're going to go back to the beginning of our pattern repeat and knit 4. So really that's a knit 7. Yarn over, slip 1, knit two together, whoopsie, knit two together, pass slip stitch over, yarn over, knit 7. Or if you want to do the pattern thing, knit 3, go back to the beginning, knit 4. Knit 4. Yarn over, again, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over, yarn over, knit 3, go back to the beginning and knit 4, 2, 3, 4, and continue that all the way to the end. Purl all the way back, and you have completed your first pattern repeat of arches. Don't those look beautiful? Continue doing this for what do we got? 14 rows. I would say probably 4 or 5 pattern repeats. I'm not sure yet. I'll fill you in. I'll fill you in. Okay, so that is section 5 done. And I will see you next time for section 6. Happy knitting! Okay, so here we have the chevron stitch. It's all finished, but it's all puckered. And I wanted to show you what I do to steam block. So obviously, easiest thing to use is a steamer. This is a Conair, and basically, so I get the steam going, and just very gently this is all I do. So now I don't want to leave the steam and this hot metal area on the yarn too long because I obviously don't want to burn anything. So you can see I'm just being really gentle. Less is more. Boy, can I smell the lanolin in the yarn. What are we doing here? So, yeah, I mean, obviously this is my preferred method. And little by little, gently, gently, the yarn relaxes. Now you can also, if you want, come at from behind. There we go. Turn that off. So normally I would just kind of lay that flat. I didn't do such a great job. It's not as easy doing here, but it looks pretty good actually. Yeah, there's my lovely chevrons. Isn't that beautiful? With backlit like that. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. I got a little bit of steam there for my arches, but yeah, there's my chevrons, fishtail, my tulips, and the falling leaves. It's looking great. Okay, I will show you how to steam block method number 2 now. Okay, so here we go. Method number 2. for steam blocking. Basically, you just want to use an iron, any kind of iron. I just have a cheap little craft iron, travel iron, and a wet towel. So I'm using a hand towel. It is wet. It's not dripping, but it will drip if I let it hang for a while. It's wet, it's heavy. Hopefully this is coming across. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our work. Now, normally, obviously, I wouldn't have it on the needles still. I'm going to actually turn this upside down to start. I find it easier, especially if it's curling like that. Take my wet towel and shaping it a little bit. Now, this isn't as easy as it is with a steamer. Make sure that curled edge is laying nice and flat underneath this. I'm gonna straighten it out as best I can. Okay, and now I'm gonna take my hot iron and simply do that. You don't want to leave it there for too long. But basically this is taking the water that's in your towel, heating it and pushing it through the towel and into your yarn and steaming it. So this is a lengthy process, not an easy or quick thing to do. Easy, but not quick. I'm just going to do a little section here. Let's see how it turns out. Okay, so really important, my iron is not set to steam, it's on a dry iron. Very hot, and I'm using an old towel. Let's see how this has worked. Keep in mind that was just a quick one. I can smell that lanolin. Okay, let's shape this a bit better. Put the towel back over. Now it's really important not to let your towel dry out. As soon as you feel like it's getting too dry, make sure you wet it again. As long as you're hearing that sizzle, it's wet. Oops, see. So this is the challenge with this one, is that trying to get all your little edges folded down. Okay, now again, after I steam this, it should be a bit damp. And it's going to be really important to keep this laying flat to dry until it's completely dry. And then it should be set. Now at this point I should note that you can adjust it a little bit because it's still hot from the steam and it's still setting. So there you go. There we go. Steam blocking. Okay, so that's it from me, part 4, 4, and 5. Steam blocking. I will see you next time for part 6, 7, maybe 8, 9, who knows? Happy knitting. Yeah, if you're enjoying this, hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And you can also join the group in Ravelry under Burly and post your progress there. Happy knitting!